This is my truck. This is my house. This is my art corner. This is my gun. Flashlight. Gerber. Knife. Hair ties. Car keys. These are my legs. My name is Saul Martinez. I am the Chief Programs Officer for Warriors in Quiet Waters Foundation. I am a husband, I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm a friend, and I'm also an Army veteran. In 2007, I was deployed during the surge in Iraq, where I was catastrophically wounded by an IED, and that's how I got these. If you spend any time around veterans, chances are you might spend some time with an amputee. And I'm going to give you a little peek into that world. Every amputation is different. Every fit is unique to that amputee. I can't give either one of my legs to any other amputee and it'll fit them. It's not a thing. All amputees have different shaped sockets. To me, the most important thing is the fit for the sockets, because without a good socket fit, you're going to be in pain. There are so many options as far as hardware goes for prosthetics themselves. For a guy like me, I am active. I camp with my family all the time. I swim, I hike, I fish. I'm in the river a lot, and I need legs that are not only waterproof but also rigid and also very tough to sustain not only this big frame that I got, but also if I'm in the backwoods somewhere or if I'm on the river somewhere, I can't be having things break because then I'm kind of stuck. And those are big risks that I take, and those are risks that other amputees take when they're out in the wilderness or they're actually trying to do something and be active. It's always a risk assessment. On mine, I have what's called an X3, and it's made by a company called Autobach. It's waterproof, it's a microprocessor knee. So that means whenever I'm walking or even sitting, or if I'm standing in the river, it knows what I'm trying to do and how I'm trying to do it. So it knows if I'm walking it knows how to swing a certain way. It knows if I'm trying to sit down, it knows to give me some resistance. And that goes for if I'm going up and down stairs. If I'm going downstairs, it knows to engage the hydraulic that it has in order to get me down the stairs safely. Going down hills is a big thing too. I don't have my biological knee on this one anymore. This one I still do. The below the knee amputation to most of us is having a better ankle and having a better foot. But this one I depend on so much because of how much mobility it gives me and how much stability it gives me. Every amputation, whether it's legs or upper body, has advantages and disadvantages, but ultimately it's about using what you got. And so when we're talking about interaction with an amputee, let's talk about shaking hands. If a guy or a gal just happens to be missing their right arm and you're going in for a typical handshake, which is your right hand going in for a handshake, the best thing to do in that scenario, if you don't know, is just take that split second to see what they're doing. Which arm are they offering? Are they offering you their arm that maybe has a prosthetic on it? Are they offering you just their residual limb with no prosthetic on it? Or are they offering you the opposite hand, which is, not typical? Or are they trying to go with no handshake, which is also cool? Taking that 1 second to know how to interact with another amputee, it could mean the world to that person, because 90% of the people that they interact with don't take that second to do so. People with disabilities, especially amputees, even if they're wheelchair bound, it's nice to get invited places. If somebody invites me hunting to an area that I've never been before, I'm gonna ask them okay, what's the elevation gain like? Okay, what kind of side trails are we looking at? Does it slant from this way? Does it slant from this way? Which route are we we'll do some map recon. We'll do whatever we can so I can complete that assessment. But I also don't wanna affect that invitation by feeling like I'm a burden. It's not a matter of you assessing what they're capable of. Just put it back on us, because I know I will be totally honest with you. Yeah, sometimes we're gonna need breaks. People with legs, you guys can just go, and that's really fun to see. It's really cool to see. I actually don't remember what that's like. If I need help, I'll definitely ask for it. Don't be afraid to ask, especially if that person is about to put themselves or somebody else at risk. Kids generally get a pass. They're curious about everything, and I think curiosity gets us to invention, and I think invention gets us to progress. There are times if the parents are encouraging of, hey, why don't you just go ask him what happened to his legs? It's fine. I will just tell you straight up, I got blown up by some bad guys. Chances are that person would rather you just ask than stare. And when it comes to kids, sometimes there's room to tell them, hey, you know what, I got bit by a shark. you know, to kind of break the ice if I could tell that they're very nervous about talking to me. My wife likes to use the ones, you see that? That's what happens when you don't eat your vegetables. When you've been through trauma and absolute chaos, it forces you to learn things. Yeah, I'm down 2 legs. I've still got my hands. I've still got my brain, even though it's a bit rattled. I've still got my heart. I've still got my lungs. I've still got my vision. It's just been a matter of using what I got to the best of my ability. Ultimately, it's up to me to get out of bed and decide to put my legs on every day, because that's what I got. Having a support system, but not only having one, but being totally conscious of maintaining it. If I don't, man, it'll be so much harder to even get out of bed every day. I was really fortunate to have an existing support system with my big Mexican family, with my wife that decided to stay with me, with, you know, my mom, dad, and my brother, and my in-laws that chose to stick around. But everything after that in the past 14 years has been a lot of maintenance. I put a lot of energy into those people because of how much they allow me to thrive. If you don't have a support network that already exists, try to listen to those people, or try to listen to yourself when somebody crosses your path of somebody that you want to keep in your life. Try to pay attention to those people who are paying attention to you, that actually want to see you thrive. That's really similar to what we do at Warriors in Quiet Waters. We increase that support network right off the bat. Learning the craft of fly fishing, there's a lot of elements involved that are beneficial to somebody's heart, somebody's brain, or somebody's physicality, because it takes effort to actually go and wade in a stream. It takes effort to get in and out of a boat. And it actually takes effort to get a fish on the line. It's very intentional and it's very focused. And so when you take that home with you and you're able to pursue that craft, it reminds them about their time in Montana. It reminds them about what kind of network is waiting for them here and is always accessible. It doesn't matter what condition the warriors or their loved ones are showing up with. We put a lot of energy into not only accommodating those warriors coming through, but doing so in a way that's thoughtful, in a way that still is empowering, not so much accommodating. Because everywhere I go, if I'm wearing shorts, somebody's always trying to help me. Like, somebody's always trying to assume I can't do something on my own. But at the same time, if I need to lift this giant box into my truck, I can do that. Let me tell you why I love swimming. Everything about it is joy for me. Even the chores that come with it, even drying off, even smelling like chlorine or smelling like salt from the beach or feeling sticky. Doesn't matter what the water is, anytime I'm in it, it's like I'm free. The pool is one of the very few places where I'm in little to no pain. And I just want to stay in there forever, because every day is constant pain for me. I could go underwater and I could fly. I can catch up with my kids. I can actually move faster than they can in the water. That's one of the few places I actually have more mobility than they do. Anytime I get out of the pool, I'm refreshed because of how much pain I wasn't in, if that makes any sense. You gotta use what you got. I could use what I got and I go swimming. I can golf. Some days it's good, some days it's not so good, but that's golf. I can CrossFit. Some things I can't do really well is I can't go upstairs very well. Looks weird, feels weird, takes me a while. Another thing I can do, I can hunt, I can fish. I can still walk for miles and miles and get to where I need to go. I can still get up every day and put my legs on. I can be an artist. I can be a moviegoer. I can be all of these things because I'm just constantly trying to use what I got. I've got a cool truck. I live in a great house, but the most important things to me are, one, what I keep in my pockets. Like, I picked that flashlight because it's the most dependable. It's always been the most accurate. It's the brightest, and it fits in my pocket just right. I picked the right knife because I've tried lots of knives, and I need the one that's the strongest. I need the one with the sharpest edge, and I need the one that fits in my pocket best and I can easily access. Same thing with my Gerber. It's the same kind of Gerber I carried in the Army. It was tried and true on hundreds of different trials, and so I keep that on me too. I keep those 2 hair ties in my pocket because having a daughter growing up, she always was losing hair ties. She doesn't need them that often anymore, but when she does, she's happy that daddy has them. Most important to me are what's in here and what's up here. Those are the 2 places that I've put the most time and energy into, because if I'm not good here and if I'm not good here, I can't be good for everybody else, which is where I feel like my purpose is a helper and being there for others. I get a lot of people that say I inspire them, which is great. I appreciate that. I appreciate them taking the time to tell me that I inspire them. What inspires me are those people, big, small, young, old, who get beat down, but always find a way to get back up. Use what you got.